This is the most non-sword sword I have ever seen. I mean, this is basically just a tube! And before I can even think about talking about this, I need to introduce you to someone. It's me! I'm the guy that wants you to like the video. Come on, why aren't you doing it? Just like the video! It's so easy, so simple, so fun, right? Clicking buttons is fun, make number go up, make me happy. It really helps out, helps the channel a lot, helps this video a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Now, getting back to this tube. This is the sword, the weapon, the main primary weapon for Tokyu Rokugo. Now this is the sword that is very rarely used and is very widely considered to just be a crosslight, which is kind of just what it is. And what I mean by crosslight is, you know, one of those sticks that the airplane people use to signal the airplane where to go with? It's basically like that, but for trains. That's kind of why it's a tube, but it's really weird that it's called a sword in the show. I mean, they constantly refer to it as a sword, even though it's very clearly just like a stick. More like a baton, really. It's like, you know those things that the police carry around to bash criminals with? It's like one of those. Right, before I continue bashing this thing anymore, let's go to turn this thing on with the on and off switch right there. And we turn it on, we get this nice translucent plastic. There's these little arrows in here, right there, and they glowed just now. And they tend to glow whenever you do this thing. But this is quite a simple toy, being quite a simple design of just a tube. But there's a little button on the handle right here, and when we press this, we get some lights from this, and we get some noises. So there we got some electricity in the thing. And we got some more electricity, but it kind of went out like that. Which kind of leans into this being like one of those electric batons that we see in like a lot of sci-fi. They're in Shin Kamen Rider. There's the little minions had the batons with the electric at the end of them. Yeah, but those are the two attack noises that you get with this thing. And this thing also comes with the Gashapon version of the Drill Russia. The drill train, if you will. This is very plot important, and so it's really nice that this thing comes with it. But this thing can really only do a final attack as the other thing it can do. So if we pull this lever back, this thing should pop up. And I'll turn it this way so it does it easier, but yeah. And I accidentally pressed the button, but that's okay. And then so this thing popped up, and there's a little track in there. It's very dark, so I'm gonna... You can't see there's a track in there, and there's a little button on the track. And so how this is going to work is the train pins are going to press down that button in there. And it doesn't really matter what train you use. I didn't really bring in another one to demonstrate, but trust me on this. When I put this in there, every train is going to make the same noise. It's nothing special going on. But when I put this in there, and when I put it down... So we get the alright noise, and then we get some sirens going on, and then when we press the trigger again, we get the final attack noise with some rubbly destruction in there. And as you saw there, the lights kind of went up in a line like that before all the 6 lights in here went off, because despite there only being 3 arrows, there's also a light in between each arrow at the tip. This thing also makes the train leaving noise, but then when you put it in again, it'll make another sound. Well, I don't know what that means, but it's doing sirens again. Yeah, so that's kind of this thing. It doesn't really do much else. It's a very simple toy, really. But there you saw, I pressed the lever as this thing was facing upwards, and it didn't get enough momentum to fully pop out. So you have to make sure you're doing it at the right angle or with the right force. But taking the train out, doesn't really do anything. It only really registered popping up, and that's the leaving noise. But yeah, that's this thing. I don't even know what it's called. It's just Tokurokugo's sword to me. Not much to talk about. I mean, if I go into the design, I mean, I kind of like the orange on it. We don't really get to see orange as a color, and a lot of Sentai, which is nice to see this thing. But it's very, very loosely on there. It's the Tokujo logo. I like kind of the hazard symbol right here, the hazard line that we get on this thing. It kind of makes it feel more construction-y, which is nice and fits the character really well. Yeah, there's not much else to say. It's pretty simple sound-wise, and the molding isn't anything particularly special. Although there's this nice translucent red that you've seen throughout the video and looks pretty nice and cool, but yeah, there's not much to this thing. This is a pretty simple toy, but I have it, so I thought I'd review it. Alright guys, that's the video. Gonna hit you tomorrow with the Nintendo Direct. It's gonna be a reaction to it. It's gonna be so cool. So I hope you guys are really excited for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.